Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. The topic of this video is going to be about the human mind. The topic of this video is going to be about the human mind. The human mind, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And the topic of this video is going to be about the human mind. Okay, so first of all, why am I talking about the human mind? Why am I talking about the human mind? Because it's so interesting, right? As an animal species and stuff like that. It's so interesting that, like, us human beings as an animal species, that we have like such a, like, one of the things that defines us as a species is the fact that our minds, our brains are so like complex and advanced and stuff. We have like these big brains and we have like these minds that can create things, tools and stuff like that. We can use our minds to like engineer different types of technologies for ourselves and stuff like that. It's so insane, right? That us human beings, that we have like these, like, this type of imagination and stuff like that. This type of imagination and stuff like that. We have these types of very advanced imaginations and stuff like that. We can use our like brains and stuff to create like different tools and different pieces of technology and stuff like that. We can use our brains to create like different pieces of technology and stuff like that. I know this is kind of like very important, like, now to discuss like the human mind. The human mind, this is so important, like, to discuss this. To discuss now like the human mind, like, because as an animal species, the fact that we have like this type of consciousness and stuff and imagination, and like our brains, our big brains, we can use like our consciousness, our imagination to like engineer different pieces of technology and like create infrastructure and houses and stuff and roads and all that, and technology. I can keep going on and on. Like, the human mind is so incredible. The fact that we can pull things from like our consciousness and put it into real life. Like, look around you, all of the cars and technology and stuff. All of the cars, technology, houses, all of the stuff that we see in our civilization, it all came out of the human mind, out of the human consciousness, out of our imagination. Isn't that amazing? But this is also a very important, that, you know, the human mind can be manipulated, and that's why I'm kind of like even bothering to make this video, because this is so important to understand that the human mind, your psychology and stuff, can be manipulated. People, they can twist your mentality around, they can control your psychology, they can manipulate your mental space and stuff, and they can put things into your head, ideas, beliefs into your head and stuff, and that can alter your human mind and stuff, and you can become like kind of twisted in so many different types of ways. This is so important to understand, right? That the human mind is incredible, but it can be manipulated, and there has been numerous attempts throughout history to manipulate our psychology, the human mind. So many like religious groups and stuff like that, and cults and secret societies, they've been trying to like figure out a way to like to kind of basically to like kind of like take over and take control of our human minds, our mentalities, our psychologies. So many like people throughout our history have always been trying to like kind of to crack into like what makes the human brain tick, and like, let's see if we can like kind of manipulate this type of mechanism that makes the human brain tick, and we can like kind of inject our own beliefs and political ideologies into the human mind and brain. This has been like all throughout our history. There's always been like groups of people, so many different types of groups of people that have been trying to like figure out like how the human brain ticks, like how the human mind works, and they've been trying to like figure out how to manipulate our psychology and stuff. And that's why I'm making this video, because the human mind, the human mind is extremely malleable. The human mind is extremely malleable and stuff. It can be manipulated. it can be twisted, it can be like re-engineered and stuff. You could be you can get the like that's what, like, you know, think about the concept of brainwashing. The concept of brainwashing, that's so important to understand this type of concept, like the fact that we as human beings, we can get like brainwashed and stuff like that, and we can like other people, they can inject their types of political ideologies, beliefs and whatever into our heads, and we can like fully take it on board if the brainwashing is done properly. You don't even realize this, like, the human mind, like your brain has been like kind of, people have been trying to tamper with your brain ever since you were just like a little boy or girl, whatever you are and stuff like that. The human brain, fucking hell, man. The human mind, people have been trying to tamper with it since the dawn of our species. Like there's always been like, especially secret societies, different types of cults, groups of religious people and like political rulers, whatever. They've been trying to figure out how the human mind ticks, how the human brain ticks, and they've been trying to like figure out how to inject their own beliefs and ideologies into our heads. The human mind is incredible. Again, like our civilization and everything, all this infrastructure and cars, all that type of stuff, it came out of the human mind. Isn't that very amazing? The fact that now all of our technology and civilization and everything like that, and our advanced electronics, it all came out of the human mind, out of the human imagination, out of our big brains. We used our big brains to engineer our society and all the technology we have and all the computers and electronics and all that stuff. It all was born out of the human mind, out of the human imagination. But what's very important to understand is like even though that we have like these big amazing brains and we have like our minds and stuff, and we can use like our mentality and like psychology to like manipulate the world around us and create new things and bring things from our imagination into real life by engineering them and stuff and using our brains to plan them out and put them into real life. The human mind, we can also like, our mentality can get twisted, we can become manipulated psychologically, we can become like hijacked by other people's belief systems and like their own personal beliefs and ideologies and stuff, and political beliefs and whatever. I can keep going on and on. The human mind, again, throughout our history, so many different types of people, they've been trying to like figure out like how the human brain ticks, how like the human mind works, so they can like figure out some type of easy way to like kind of hijack our mental space, our mentality, our mindset, our beliefs. They've been trying to, like, so many people throughout our history have been trying to like figure out like, okay, how does the human brain work? How does the human brain work? And how do we like figure out a way to like completely manipulate the human brain and the human mind so we can like put our own beliefs and ideologies into the human brain and human mind. Think about it, like what's very interesting is like, again, the time period of World War I and World War II. That is such an interesting time period to study for a variety of different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is during the time period of World War I and World War II. That's like when propaganda was like so it was like very much needed to like kind of manipulate the masses into like following like whatever like the country's like whatever the country's political rulers were doing and stuff, like their beliefs. The political rulers, like again of Nazi Germany, the Nazis, they wanted to like make all the Germans believe in like their like Aryan ideology, Nazi ideology and stuff, and they had to use propaganda to spread this type of ideology. The Soviets and the communists, they had to use like some type of propaganda to spread their communism beliefs and ideology, the ideology of communism. They had to use their own type of propaganda. And during again the time period of World War I and World War II, that's like when like propaganda was like so it was like very much needed, and it was like people were trying to figure out again during this time period of World War I and World War II what's like the best way to manipulate the masses and stuff, so that they're like whoever's ruling their specific political ideology can quickly spread with no hesitations, with no doubts from people. The human mind again is amazing. Like, look around us, like all of this like stuff and stuff, infrastructure, cars, electronics, it all came out of like the human imagination, the human mind. We used our big brains, our human minds, our imagination to literally engineer like our society around us and stuff, and to create like all these advanced pieces of technology and electronics and stuff. Like, keep going on and on. The human mind, the human brain, our psychology, our mentality is so amazing. It's like no other animal species has this type of cognitive prowess, this cognitive power, this like mentality and stuff, this psychology, the human mind. No other animal can come close to us in terms of like our cognitive abilities. But you know, like the fact is that our like brains and stuff, our human brains, our minds, our psychology, our mentality has been, so many people have been trying to tamper with it and manipulate it. Again, look at the time period of World War I and World War II. That's like my favorite time period to kind of like to dig into and to study about and stuff, because during that time period of World War I and World War II, you had the Nazis, the communists, and all these types of people, and they were trying to like figure out like a way to like spread their own like ideologies as quickly as possible with no hesitation. And they had to like figure out a way, okay, how do we like mess with the human brain? What's the best way to like manipulate, spit on the lens, what's the best way to like to manipulate the human brain so that there's no like doubting our political ideology and stuff, and so that like our political ideology gets spread with no hesitation. This, I'm not even kidding around, this was like so you know, during the time period of World War I and World War II, again, propaganda, they had to like, it was so much needed. Because the Nazis, they wanted to quickly dominate Germany and stuff, and the communists, they wanted to dominate Russia. They had to figure out like which way, okay, how do we like make other people believe in our like ideology and beliefs, and they had to figure out a way to like manipulate the human mind, the human psychology, and our brains, and they had to do this as quickly as possible. Otherwise, people would rebel against them and stuff. And you know, like that's again the time period of World War I and World War II. That's like so important. That's so important to study, because you get to like understand like where like propaganda is used and stuff. It was during this time period of World War I and World War II. That's when propaganda was very much used and stuff like that. During the time period of World War I, World War II, that's like when propaganda was like very much used and stuff like that. That's when propaganda was very much used and stuff, during the time period of World War I, World War II. Yeah, that's like when it was used a lot. Pretty much during the time period of World War I, World War II, you gotta just study that time period, and you understand like how propaganda is used, how like the different like different political rulers, different political organizations, Nazis, communists, how they were like manipulating the masses to like believe in their like ideologies and stuff, so they can spread their own agendas and dogma and stuff. It's so interesting. The time period of World War I and World War II. So interesting to study that time period, because you will get like a glimpse of like how propaganda is used to manipulate the human mind and our psychology and our mentality and beliefs. But I'm kind of mumbling on and on. Like the human mind like is so magical. We can like pull things from our imagination, bring them into real life. Look around you, like cars, houses, all this stuff. It all came out of the human imagination. That's so impressive. That's so like amazing and stuff, isn't it? Everything you see around you, it all came out of the human imagination. Every like piece of technology we have now, every piece of like infrastructure, everything that isn't like just naturally just wasteland wildlife and stuff, it all came out of the human imagination, the human mind. The human mind, we have like such amazing brains and stuff, and we can like create technology and stuff, and we can use our minds to engineer entire societies and change the entire world around us. But it's also very important, right, that you understand, right, that like the human mind. The human mind can easily be tampered with. People throughout our history, they've always been trying to like manipulate our psychologies, our mentalities, like our brains and stuff. They've been always trying to manipulate it throughout our history. Like as a species, like people have always been attempting to like tamper with our brains, our mentalities, our beliefs. The human mind, people have been trying to manipulate it for their own benefits and agendas and whatever. So important to understand this. The human mind is so susceptible to being manipulated. Like you as a person, you've probably been brainwashed. I'm not even kidding around. You've been probably brainwashed. Look, purple van. That was pretty cool to look at. As a person, as a young man or woman, you've probably been brainwashed for sure. I'm not even kidding around. I'll explain to you like how right now, like you think about it, like when you were little, you were like pretty much like you were like completely like raised by your parents and stuff, and then you were sent to school, and then you were like raised by the teachers, and then up until the point where you're now like maybe a late teenager, you're maybe 18, 19, 20. Now you have like some type of independent ability to think and stuff on your own. You don't have to like listen to other people. So this is like very important. Like think about like ever since you were little, like all like the types of beliefs that were injected into your brain, like your religious beliefs, political beliefs and stuff like that. It all, if you carefully think about it, all of these types of beliefs that you have about religion, God, and everything about that, and politics, it came from your parents and your teachers. I guarantee that is the case for everyone that's watching this video. That whatever like beliefs you have, they probably just were passed on to you by your parents or your teachers or something similar like this. I guarantee that is like that is probably true. That's probably true. that your religious beliefs and political beliefs, all those types of things, it was probably given to you by your parents and teachers and etc. And I can keep going on and on. You've been brainwashed. You have to acknowledge this. I actually made a video about this which you should check out, but anyway, that's kind of like a side tangent. The video is called "You've Been Brainwashed," by the way. I think so. You can double check on that. Just go through my video catalog. Anyway, but back to the topic at hand, which is like the human mind. It's so amazing. We can like look around. It's like all of this like infrastructure and stuff. It all came from like the electronics, the cars and stuff like that. It all came out of the human mind, the human imagination. That's so important to understand that all of like our advanced infrastructure, technology, everything about our society, it all came out of the human imagination, the human psychology and stuff. We've literally engineered everything around us. Our society is so amazing. Cars, buses, trucks and stuff. Cars, buses, trucks, all those types of things, all out of the human imagination, the human mind. So amazing. The human mind, like I wonder, like they're obviously the human brain is like a physical organ. It has like limitations and stuff, and your brain relies on nutrients and blood and oxygen to function to a certain extent. You can't just like there are limitations to the human mind. I do believe that. Especially you can figure out these types of limitations. Like just try and not go into sleep for 2 days. No sleep for 2 days. You'll see like how like these types of limitations that the human mind, our human brains have. We're not like the human mind is kind of there is like some type of limitation on our brains, our mentality, our psychology. I mean, again, this is like a fun little experiment. Try not going to sleep for 2 days. Be sleep deprived for 2 days. You'll see like the limitations on the human mind. The human mind is so like again susceptible to being manipulated, to being tampered with, and throughout our history, so many people have been trying to figure out like how the human brain ticks and like how they can inject their own beliefs into your head and stuff into your brain with no questions asked. That's quite scary. It seems like this is going to turn to like some type of conspiracy theorist video, but you know, I am like a conspiracy theorist. I do believe in like a lot of different types of conspiracies that a lot of you probably aren't even going to think about twice. I'm not really shy. I'm not going to shy away from being called like a conspiracy theorist. I do like that type of label. I would like happily take that label on me and stuff. You know, but the human brain is susceptible to being tampered with. The human psychology, it is susceptible to being manipulated and stuff like that. You got to like kind of think about it very carefully. This and stuff. That the human brain is very much the case, right? That the human brain, our minds, the human mind, our mentality, our psychology, it's very easy to manipulate it and to kind of hijack and sabotage it and stuff in so many different types of ways. Throughout our history, again, the time period of World War I and World War II, that's so important. Time period of World War I and World War II, that's so important kind of to understand and stuff like that. Because in this time period of World War I and World War II, you got the Nazis, the communists and stuff. They had like their political ideologies and beliefs, and they wanted to spread it across their countries, their home countries. Communism was probably it was like the Soviets who were in Russia and stuff. They were trying to spread communism in Russia and stuff. Nazis were in Germany. They were trying to spread Nazism in Germany and stuff. They had to figure out a way to like spread these types of ideologies without any type of like without the masses of people like rebelling against them. And they had to like figure out a way to tamper with the human mind, the human psychology, the human brain to do this effectively and stuff. That's why propaganda, like if you want to like properly understand how propaganda is used and stuff like that, you have to like study the time period of World War I and World War II. You have to study the time period of World War I and World War II if you want to understand like how propaganda is used and stuff like that. You have to study the time period of World War I and World War II if you want to properly like grasp like how like propaganda is used and how it's like how like different like political organizations have been trying to tamper with the human mind, our psychology, our mentality, our beliefs. So important, stuff like that. So important. It's so important to understand this and stuff. So important to like to study like the time period of like World War I, World War II, so you can like you would be able to like figure out like, okay, like this is like how the human brain, human mind, human psychology is manipulated. It's so important. You gotta like the time period of World War I and World War II, when the Nazis were trying to take over Germany and the communists were taking over Russia and like East Asia as well and other places. This is so important because you'll like understand like how the human mind is like so susceptible to being manipulated. Like how so many like different types of people, they've been trying to like tamper with our brains and stuff like that, our minds. They've been trying to tamper with our brains, our minds and stuff like that. You gotta like study the time period of World War I and World War II, and you get like some type of glimpse. 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 Sorry, I was like double check. Someone isn't like throwing shit on me. Someone isn't like throwing weird shit on me. The time period of World War I, World War II is so important to kind of to understand that. Windows are shut. The time period of World War I and World War II is so important. It's so important to study that time period, and you'll get like a clue of like how propaganda is used, like how the human mind, human brain is manipulated, how our psychologies are tampered with, and etc. and stuff. Again, the Nazis were in Germany, the communists were in Russia, and they were trying to spread their ideology as quickly as possible without any type of hesitation from the masses. And they had to like figure out, okay, how do we tamper with the human brain, the human mind, our psychology, like mentality, the human psychology, human mentality, to quickly spread communism and Nazism as quickly as possible without any type of rebellions from the people and stuff. I'm telling you, the time period of World War I, World War II, you gotta like carefully study that time period, and you get like a glimpse of like how like people try, like how different types of political rulers, political organizations, how they manipulate the human psychology, human mentality, our brains, our minds and stuff. I can keep going on and on about that, but you know, the human mind again is it can be tampered with so easily. I'm telling you. The fact that like look at the way Nazism spread in Germany and like communism spread in Russia. There was like the people, they just quickly took it on board. They didn't like really even hesitate about these types of ideologies that were spreading in those types of countries like Russia and Germany and stuff. Like the human mind is can be manipulated so easily, tampered with so easily. It's kind of ridiculous. That's why I advise you again to study like the time period of World War I and World War II, and you'll get like a glimpse of what I'm talking about. Like how the human mind is like so easy. It's so easy to manipulate it and to like twist it and to kind of like make it your own thing. Cool. I like showing you like the cars and the vans that come by. It's so cool, interesting and stuff. Human mind, man, can easily be manipulated. So the human mind, our psychology, our mentality, it's so easy to manipulate it. It's so easy to manipulate the human mind and our brains and stuff, and our psychology and our mentality. Damn. Yeah, the topic of this video is the human mind, and I'm telling you that the human mind can be manipulated, tampered with so easily. It's kind of ridiculous to me. A lot of us aren't even like too like aware of the fact that we've been kind of brainwashed and our brains have been manipulated by other people and groups and stuff and organizations and political rulers and whatever and stuff. I can keep going on and on. So important that you kind of at least grasp this, right? That the human mind, our brains, our mentality, our psychology can be manipulated. And again, time period of World War I and World War II, that's such an important like a time period to study about. Because in that time period of World War I, World War II, you got the Nazis in Germany and you got the communists in Russia and stuff, and they were trying to spread like the ideology of communism and Nazism as quickly as possible. Yeah, Nazism in Germany, communism in Russia. The Bolsheviks, whatever they were, these types of political rulers, they were trying to spread their ideologies as quickly as possible with no hesitation. They had to like figure out ways to like manipulate the human brain, our psychology, our mentality. Yeah, our mentality, our psychology as efficiently as possible. So obviously they had to do this. Otherwise, the public would start to rebel. The masses of people would start to like overthrow these types of political rulers and organizations. They had to like figure out a way to inject their political ideologies in a way, in such a way that the human brain, the human mind doesn't like reject it instantly. Like we don't like become too like overwhelmed and we like kind of like hesitate and we start to get angry at these people. We just accept what they say. I do believe like even now, in our modern society and stuff like that, even after like the events of World War I and World War II, I do believe propaganda is still being utilized in a much more covert way. Covert as in like hidden, not as like overt as it used to be. Like it's more like we're being manipulated in more slighter ways, but still you can feel the effects of like us being manipulated. If you go onto YouTube, because I know TV is kind of dying now, isn't TV dying? Who watches like TV now? It's fucking dying, right? YouTube is like the new thing that we're all watching now, right? TV is kind of fucking dying. But if you go on, like a lot of us that watch YouTube, like, you know, the advertisements and stuff like that, and all that type of stuff, and the ads that play on the videos, someone's like where do you think these types of ads are coming from? Why do you think specific types of ads are being shown to you? It's kind of, if you think about it, it's gonna blow your mind. It's probably because like the people that are in control of YouTube, they're trying to like sell you something, and they want you to fully take it on board and stuff. You're being manipulated in so many different slight ways, man. I'm telling you, right? Being manipulated in so many different types of slight ways. The time period of World War I, World War II, that's so interesting to study about, man. Because in that time period of World War I, World War II, the Nazis were in Germany and they were trying to spread Nazism as quickly as possible. Communists were in Russia and they were trying to spread communism as quickly as possible. That time period of World War I and World War II is so crucial to understand, to study that time period, because you get like a glimpse of like how we're manipulated and how like the human brain, human mind can be so like easily tampered with and stuff like that. You can get like a glimpse of this. You can get like a glimpse of like how the human mind, the human brain can get tampered with so easily and stuff like that. It's so important to study like that type of time period and stuff like that, World War I, World War II, because then you'll get like a glimpse of like how the human mind, human brain can get so easily tampered with. Yeah, it's kind of like unreal, right? That, again, during the time period of World War I, World War II, like Nazism just quickly spread. It took control of Germany, and communism took control of Russia. Why is this? Why weren't the people that were in these types of countries more aware of the fact that they were being manipulated? I guess it's because, like, again, we as human beings, we just allowing other people to like manipulate us. We just a lot of us, we just kind of like submit to like the dominant like rulers and stuff, whoever's like in charge and at the top of our society. We typically just like kind of like believing what they have to say. We just kind of allowed the whoever's at the top of our society to like manipulate us, and we just believe what they have to say and stuff. Typically that's like what most of us are like. Even now, right, a lot of us, we just like listen to like what all the news people tell us and stuff, and the academics and scientists. Even now that's still the case, right, and stuff like that. Even now that's still the case. Look at, like, again, go and research about the time period of World War I and World War II. This is like such a good thing to study, to like learn about the human mind, our psychology, our mentality, and how we can be so easily manipulated and tampered with. The Nazis were in Germany and stuff. Like, how did Nazism spread so quickly in Germany and take over Germany? How were like all the people just getting fully on board with Nazism in Germany and like, communism in Russia and stuff? Why was communism spreading so efficiently in Russia? And the people in Russia didn't really even think too much about the fact that they were being manipulated by these oligarchs above them and stuff. It's kind of, and these Bolsheviks and these people that were trying to spread communism. Look, kitty cat. The time period of World War I, World War II, again, I cannot like stress this enough. It's such an important time period to study about, to figure out like how the human mind, our brains, can easily get tampered with and stuff like that, and our mentality and stuff can get messed with and stuff and tampered with. You gotta study that type of time period of World War I and World War II. You get like a good understanding. You get like a good understanding, right, of how like the human mind, our psychology, our mentality can get tampered with, and we can become so easily brainwashed and manipulated. Oh, shoot. Yeah, the human mind is incredible. It's just such a shame that our psychology, our mentality and stuff can be so easily tampered with. People can manipulate our psychology, our mentality, our brains in such without any type of like problem. That's so insane. Now again, they can just manipulate our brains, our minds, our mental space, our heads with no like issues. That's so insane. Think about it. Again, look at the time period of World War I and World War II. How did Nazism spread so quickly in Germany? How did communism spread so quickly in Russia and stuff? It's because, you know, it's very unfortunate that like a lot of human beings, we can just so easily become manipulated by like, whoever's in charge of our society, whoever's at the top of our society. We can just so easily become manipulated by these types of people, like whoever's in charge of our society, whoever's like at the top of our society and stuff. We can get so easily like manipulated. It's kind of insane, in it. It's very insane, in it. It's insane that we can become so manipulated, like, by whoever's like at the top of our society, whoever is like in charge of our society and stuff. Isn't that kind of like so insane? So insane in it. It's just so insane in it. That's why I make these videos to kind of like to shed some light on this, so to kind of help enlighten you a little bit, so I can kind of make more people aware of the fact that they're being manipulated. I don't know, like in the time period of World War I, World War II. Look into that, man. Study it carefully. How the fuck did the Nazis quickly take over Germany? How did the communists quickly take over Russia? It's because most of us human beings we're so fucking retarded. We don't like have our own independent way of thinking. We don't we allow ourselves to like be completely manipulated by whoever's at the top of our society. We don't like think for ourselves. That's kind of like so sad. It is kind of very interesting to study like the time period of World War I and World War II and stuff. Nazis in Germany. How did Nazism spread so efficiently, so quickly in Germany? Isn't that kind of very interesting? Almost like whoever was like the Nazis in Germany, is so interesting to study that and stuff. As some type of case study, like the Nazis in Germany. How did Nazism spread so quickly in Germany? Communism spread so quickly in Russia and stuff with no hesitation. Isn't that kind of very interesting? Plane. Yo, there's a plane. There's a plane up there, yo. It's such an interesting thing to like kind of to study about and stuff at all. The time period of World War I and World War II is so interesting to study that time period, because you'll get like glimpses of like how us human beings, like how we're manipulated, how our psychology is tampered with, and how we get brainwashed and like kind of manipulated and stuff, and kind of we get driven by like political ideologies, we get driven by propaganda. It's so interesting to study that time period of World War I and World War II and stuff like that. It's so interesting. How did the what's it called, the NAZIs, how did the Nazis quickly take over Germany? How did the communists quickly take over Russia? Isn't that so interesting? It shows, right, that us human beings, we can become so easily manipulated. Our psychology can become so easily manipulated and tampered with. It's kind of very tragic, isn't it? Very tragic that the human mind is so incredible, but it can be so easily tampered with, manipulated. We can become so easily brainwashed by propaganda and stuff. It's so insane. Look at again the time period of World War I, World War II. Nazis in Germany, Nazism quickly took over Germany, communism quickly took over Russia. Why is that? It's because like most of us human beings, like our brains, our mentality, our psychology, can so easily become manipulated. Other people, they can easily like inject their own types of propaganda into our brains and stuff. Other people can like come in and like kind of like completely like hijack our brains. Other people can come in and quickly like put their own like types of beliefs and stuff into our heads, and their own like ideologies and their own agendas into our heads, and we can just, as human beings, a lot of us will just fully like accept it. We won't even like question it too much. We'll just fully take it on board. Isn't that kind of very insane? That's so sad and insane to me that as human beings we can become so easily like manipulated. Our mentality, our mindset, our brain can become so like twisted around by other people. Isn't that kind of insane? This is that's so sad and tragic. Again, look at like the time period of like look at the time period of like World War I and World War II. Look at the time period of World War I and World War II. How did the Nazis take over Germany so quickly? How did like the communists take over Russia so quickly without the public like rebelling against them? That's so interesting to study. That type of the time period of World War I and World War II is so interesting to study that time period, because you'll get a glimpse of like how easily the human mind, our psychology, can get like manipulated and tampered with. It's kind of very tragic and sad, isn't it? That we have like these incredible. The human mind is so incredible, but it can be like manipulated. It could be like so easily manipulated. Damn, hope nobody throws shit on me, man. It's fucking hell. Oh, shit. Recording videos outside is so fucking tricky, man. Other people can fuck you up, man. I'm telling you, they can fuck you up. But anyway, like, the human mind is so incredible, but the human mind can easily become manipulated and tampered with. Look at like the time period of World War I and World War II. That's such an interesting time period to study about, because in that time period, like the Nazis in Germany, Nazism quickly took over Germany. Communism quickly took over Russia. Why is that? It's because us human beings, most of us, we're so ignorant and dumb. We can become so easily manipulated and driven by propaganda. Isn't that so sad? It's so sad and tragic that we have like these big brains, but we can become so easily manipulated, and like our psychology can get manipulated and twisted, and a lot of us, we can easily become driven by propaganda. Isn't that so fucking sad? I don't know. Most people don't even think too much about anything, so I don't know. Maybe it's like not that much of a big deal. I don't know. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, like, the time period of World War I and World War II, you gotta look into that. That's like such an important time period to study about, to kind of to understand, to get like glimpses of like how easily the human mind can get tampered with and manipulated. Again, what the Nazis were in Germany, and the communists were in Russia. How did like Nazism quickly take over Germany? How did like communism quickly take over Russia? It's because like the human mind, us human beings, we can so easily become driven by like propaganda. Our minds can easily become manipulated. We can completely turn into like robots, basically. We can become like so easily programmed by other people's beliefs and stuff. It's so insane. That's why I make these types of videos, showing the scenery. That's why I make these types of videos, to kind of help like enlighten you, hopefully, to help open your mind up, hopefully, and stuff like that, so you're not like completely like twisted around. Hopefully, like, that's why I'm making these types of videos, so I can help you out and stuff, and to kind of to enlighten you and stuff, and to open your mind up. So I can open your mind up and enlighten you and stuff, and help you like understand like the fact that your mind, your mentality, your psychology has been tampered with and manipulated. Again, us human beings, like stuff like that. Us human beings, like, we are so susceptible to being manipulated, to being driven by like propaganda and etc. You have to understand this. The fact that you've been, as a human being, you've been manipulated, and other people have been trying to tamper your psychology, mess with your mind, manipulate you. It's kind of sad that us human beings, we can be so easily like driven by propaganda, manipulated. Very sad. Look at the time period of World War I, World War II. You'll get like a good glimpse of what I'm talking about. Again, how did the Nazis take over Germany so quickly? How did the communists take over Russia so quickly? That's so insane to me. It's because us human beings, like, we can so easily become manipulated by other people's belief systems and like political ideologies, etc. We can so easily like be driven by propaganda. It's just so sad. I don't know. Now, a lot of us were like so ignorant and dumb about this. We're so ignorant. We don't know that we've been like driven by propaganda. We've been manipulated in so many different types of ways. Hopefully, like, my videos are gonna kind of help enlighten you, and you're gonna open your head up about this and open your mind up and stuff, and you're gonna be like a little bit better off. You're not gonna be as ignorant as most people are. Hopefully, that's like the whole purpose of my videos, is to kind of help enlighten you a little bit of the fact that you're like kind of being tampered with, and like your brain and your psychology, your mentality and mindset is being manipulated. That's like the purpose of like my videos and stuff. Hopefully and stuff. Hopefully you're like becoming more aware. Every time you watch my videos, you're becoming a little bit more aware of like the world around you and stuff like that, and the fact that you've been manipulated, your psychology's been manipulated, and your mind's been tampered with and stuff. Hopefully my videos are helping you become more aware of this. Hopefully my videos are helping you become more aware of this. Hopefully. The human mind, it's so easy to like manipulate our minds and our psychology and etc. And I could keep going on and on. you need to like be aware of the fact that you've been like kind of, as a human being, you've been manipulated, tamper your mind, the human mind. Because oh yeah, the topic of this video is the human mind and stuff. Just you have to like, the human mind is incredible, but it's so tragic that our mentality, psychology, mindset, mentality, etc. The human mind can be so easily manipulated and tampered with. Look, study the time period of World War I and World War II. You get like a glimpse of what I'm talking about. In that time period, how did the Nazis take over Germany so quickly? How did the communists take over Russia so quickly with no hesitation? With no type of like rebellion from the people in those types of countries in that time period. It's because the fact that a lot of us we can so easily become like manipulated and stuff and brainwashed. You have to like understand this, man. Fucking hell, it's getting chilly. The human mind, again, the topic of this video is the human mind. Human mind is incredible. Like, look at our society and civilization and stuff. Infrastructure, technology, electronics, they all came out of the human mind. The human mind is incredible, but the human mind can so easily be corrupted and manipulated and tampered with. Look at the Nazis, the time period of World War I, World War II, the Nazis in Germany. Nazism quickly took over Germany. Most people just in Germany were fully on board with Nazism. Why is that? It's because we can become so easily manipulated. Look at the communists in Russia. Communism took over Russia. Why is that? It's because, like, again, us human beings, the human mind is incredible, but the human mind can so easily become manipulated and tampered with, and that's kind of like a tragedy. Hopefully, my videos are going to help you become more aware of this and stuff.